after all, it was just a little knock on the head.
Darling, it was enough to knock me out cold for as long as it took to stop me in a sailor just, and then some. Oh, do stop harassing me. I say I can't remember anything. To be quite sure, I can't remember a thing.
Well, unless you remember something, whoever did this is going to be running about the place, possibly knocking other people about the head, or stabbing them in the back like they did poor Cook.
Cook's dead too? Oh, when did that happen?
Oh, it was either very soon before or after you were clocked on the head and stuffed into the furniture.
Good Lord.
You may very well say good Lord, Drysdale, but it doesn't help identify the lunatic who tried to do you in. Say, do you think you may have seen Cook being killed? Perhaps you walked in on the killer, and he grabbed something and clobbered you with it, and then he stuffed you into the furniture. I bet you that's what it was.
I suppose. I don't know why I'd be going to the kitchen now. Breakfast was set out in the dining room. I remember smelling the rashers as I walked in the door.
So we're looking for a very large, very strong man. He'd have to be to drag you from the kitchen to the stairs. Wait up! Why drag you all that way? There was a perfectly serviceable room cupboard in the kitchen. I mean, even Hercules would have put his back out trying to lift you up the stairs.
Hello, not that big and heavy.
Oh, Lumpy. I love every extra ounce of you, but you hardly wait like.
No, but...
Oh, drink your brandy, dear. Why hide you at all? The others weren't hidden.
I don't know, dear. But that boy, it was hidden in the flowers, wasn't it?
Well, in a way, I suppose. But no, being in the Delphinium, no, he was bound to be found. Perhaps not right away, but soon enough. I mean, where is that inspector, anyways? Why did you have to go to the village at a time like this, anyways?
Oh, we left the place swarming with constables, Hilda.
There you are. Oh, Drysdale, how are you doing?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, dear. I can't seem to get upright. I hear you've been given a bit of a knockabout, too.
Yes. Well, that's right. 3 in the space of a few minutes.
Do leave the detective work to the detectives, Hilda. Yes, I was roughed up a bit, but it isn't anything serious.
You know, the more I think about it, the less it makes sense.
Well, then don't think about it, Hilda. It's all so depressing.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I think I'll go lie down for a bit. Oh, my head feels like it wants to liberate itself from my neck. Oh, dear.
That'll be the large brandy on the empty stomach.
Why pause your sleuthing, Hilda, and help your husband to his room?
Oh, no, now. I'll be all right.
Oh,
What else?
She likes to sew. She likes to sew.
The candle doesn't look too well.
Oh, Inspector, you're back. I've got a couple of questions for you.
How about your husband?
No, he's gone up to bed. Yes. So, the questions I have for you, I want to know, don't you find it a bit odd that there were 2 attempted murders and 1 successful murder, all in the space of a few minutes?
I do.
And has the doctor confirmed yet how the Pratt boy died?
Well, it would appear from the marks on his neck that he was strangled from behind with some sort of soft item, scarf perhaps.
And the delphiniums in his mouth?
A message?
More insurance. If the killer wasn't sure that he was dead, the flowers could have intended to suffocate him.
Not a very clean killer. But if the killer were unsure of his strength,
What did Mrs. Grafford look like?
dead.
Inspector, were they vicious stabs or more tentative blows?
Well, based on the appearance of the wounds on both bodies, I would say that actually there's quite a bit of similarities between the two, and I would say that both were the victims of the same, or at least a very similar assailant.
But the attacks on Drysdale and Lady Florence just don't fit.
I agree.
I mean, why stab one woman and then attempt to throw the other one down the stairs? It just doesn't make sense. And why hide Drysdale's body?
You have a very incisive mind, Mrs. Mills.
Thank you.
So tell me this then. Do you think that Mrs. Highgate might be a killer?
Mrs. Highgate? I don't know. I hardly know the woman. I just met her this morning.
Well, earlier when I was out of the room, something happened when I was down in the village, and Mabel has suffered a complete collapse. Dr. Morgan says she's not fit to talk yet, but I think that Mrs. Highgate might be a completely different person altogether. I get the feeling that she's a very cool customer and well versed with being mendacious with the law.
Really?
And furthermore, when I was down at the vicarage, I noticed that there was no old photographs of her, and that no one seemed to know anything about it until she showed up 10 years ago and caught the vicar's eye.
Do you think that the vicar's wife could be a criminal on the run?
She certainly gave me that impression. So, I sent a telegram to London with a description asking for details.
Well, and if she was trying to keep her past hidden, and the young Pratt boy found out, she could have killed him to keep her past hidden.
But both Fitz and Lady Florence mentioned that Mrs. Gratford had been seeing the grocer's boy Albert in the potting shed, Fitz said. So, I went down to the potting shed, and from there you can just about see the Delphinium hatch. Perhaps Mrs. Gratford saw the murder take place.
But why wouldn't she have mentioned it to your constable when she was being interviewed yesterday evening?
Blackmail.
Blackmailing a vicar's wife? I think the vicar makes just as much as Cook does.
But if we're right, and Highgate is a criminal in hiding, perhaps she has a large sum of money hidden away.
Well, Cook wouldn't have known that, though.
You're right.
Oh, Inspector,
Oh.
Hilda.
I've seen it. How are you?
Inspector.
Sweetheart, of course, but under the circumstances.
There's something
Yes.
that I'd like to speak to the inspector about.
Yes, go ahead.
Alone, if you don't mind.
Just go.
Inspector Wolfer, I know I'm not the most beautiful girl in the world,
Ah, don't sell yourself short, miss.
and I know I'm not the most elegant, but I really do believe that Reggie loved me.
I can certainly believe it.
And when my mother said that he was only after me for my money,
Yes.
it's just that I've never been so angry in my entire life. She thinks I'm hopeless. She said it enough times, but to only think that he wanted me for my money. We haven't even got that much money, Inspector. Why do you think we only have Mabel and Fitz? When Houghton asked for time away, she was only too glad to give it to him.
I can certainly understand why you'd be upset with her.
Oh, I didn't think she'd killed him. Not really. But I was just so angry. Oh, she said she was glad he was dead.
Miss Enid, did you?
Yes. It was me who tried to push my mother downstairs. But I was just trying to scare her. That's why I put on my full dressing gown and the masquerade mask. I was just trying to scare her. I suppose I'll be sent to jail.
No, Miss Enid. I think I have a more dangerous criminal to catch.
So you aren't going to arrest me?
No, Miss Enid. You can rest easy.
Thank you! Thank you, Inspector! I promise I won't ever do that again!
Enid!
Lady Florence, I'm afraid I was a little bit indiscreet.
You certainly are, Inspector. Your superiors shall be hearing about this.
Ah, that won't be necessary, Lady Florence. You see, what happened is, Miss Enid asked me about Mrs. Gratford's demise, and I indulged her, perhaps a wee bit too explicitly at first. She became very faint, and I was forced to catch her before she took a tumble into the bookcase. That figurina could do a fair bit of damage.
She could do a fair bit of damage to it, is more likely. Tell me, Inspector, have you caught the killer? Or do your talents only stretch so far as catching fainting girls?
That investigation is going very well. Thank you, Lady Florence. Miss Enid, perhaps you should go lie down.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Inspector.
Lady Florence, I'd like to ask you, though, about the attack on you this morning. Can you tell me about it?
Tell you about it? I've already told you about it.
Only in the heat of the moment, Lady Florence. Now that the situation has settled down, I'd like a more detailed account of the events. Your detailed account of the events.
But there isn't much to tell. One minute I was asleep in my bed, and the next, well, some horrid stranger was dragging me from it.
And during your attack, did your attacker speak at all?
Well, only a little. He growled, "I'll kill you." And then he used a word that I'd rather not repeat.
And did you recognize your attacker's voice, Lady Florence?
No.
I only saw your attacker's back as he was running away down the hallway. Looked like he had some sort of robe on. Brown, I thought.
Yes, rather like a monk's robe.
And the mask that he was wearing, did it seem familiar at all?
No, not at all.
This attack on you, Lady Florence, where did it take place? In the bedroom or at the top of the stairs?
Well, at the top of the stairs, I think, or perhaps it happened as he was dragging me from my bed. Well, I really don't know, Inspector. What does it matter? It was such a small injury. Maybe just a scratch. Well, you know how those little scrapes can bleed so much.
Of course, Lady Florence. Is there anything else you can tell me about your attacker? His size, perhaps?
Well, very large, very strong. He had a sort of earthiness to him.
Well, thank you very much, Lady Florence. That'll be all.
Yes, well, if you'll excuse me, I'm now without cook or maid, and I shall have to find Hilda and see if she can help me serve up some sort of a lunch. Provided, of course, I may use the kitchen, but trust cook's body has been removed.
The body has been removed, Lady Florence, and I'm sure the constable on watch would be thrilled to help you get some food together.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Lady Florence.
Inspector.
Ah, English. That